Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Fulfilled Female Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Cassandra Rosa. I am a certified life coach and healer and intuitive business coach. And the mission behind this podcast is to help you to create a fulfilling life and business. Today, I'm going to be sharing my intuitive tools for business. I'm so thrilled to be here recording this episode. It has been a while since I recorded some solo episodes, and I'm really excited to bring forth this information for you today. Lately, I've been recording lots of podcasts with fellow podcasters as a guest, and this topic keeps coming up over and over and over again when it comes to embracing your intuition and weaving that into all that you do. So I thought it'd be a really interesting episode and share some cool stories with you guys about my journey as an entrepreneur. Like I said in the intro, I am a life coach and healer and intuitive business coach. But when I started back my business 4 years ago in 2019, I didn't embrace that intuitive side. It was based more on goal setting and more of this like masculine way of doing business. I started to get some traction. I was getting good engagement. But when it came to people enrolling in my programs, I wasn't seeing the results that I set out to be. And as all this was happening behind the scenes, I was developing my intuitive side. And there was an instance in 2015 that really started this intuitive seeking journey that I'm excited to share with you. So I was taking a neurolinguistic programming course with my business partner at the time in the University of Toronto, which is like this old campus. So even though it wasn't a course for the university, it was taking place in the theology building. And from the moment I walked in there, I was getting like this like icky feeling. It felt like a little dreary type of energy. So I was sitting in the class, watching the teacher teach us some tools, and behind her, there was like this wave of energy, like kind of, I think they call it a mirage when you're in the car and in this hot summer's day, and you kind of see this, like, it almost looks like a body of water on the street ahead of you. That was kind of the image I saw. So I grabbed a Post-it note and I wrote out what I was seeing to my friend and I gave it to her because I was like, am I seeing things? Am I feeling okay? Am I like overtired? So I sent it to her and she looked at me and shook her head, and the Post-it note flew across the room, guys. I was so creeped out. I was freaking out. I was getting massive chills over my body, and I felt like there was almost someone standing behind me, to the point that I keep turning around, being like, who's behind me, right? So I was super freaked out. And I talked more to my friend about it. And she goes, okay, maybe, like maybe you should talk to one of my friends. She's a Reiki master. She's really aware of energy. Maybe she can help you out. So I reached out to one of my first mentors. And her name is Melissa. She's been a guest on the podcast here. And I was talking to her about what my experience was, and she gave me some tools to kind of like protect my energy and become more aware of my energy and kind of converse with these spirits. Because this was going to be a class that I was going to be taking these classes like in this space for multiple days. So I had to make peace with it so I could be focused on the task at hand. So I really had this experience that shook me up in a way that really opened up my intuition and was like the final like tap on the shoulder of it's time to explore it. Because from a young age, I was very empathetic, aware of energy, had other experiences, but this one was the one that kind of shook me up at my core the most. So this is back in 2015, and I started to explore my intuition. I used to go for Reiki sessions, got my first cards, started to meditate even back then when I thought, meditation wasn't going to work for me because my mind was too active. I could never quiet my mind, right? I was kind of going through this process of seeing the value, but having this internal battle within myself because I grew up in a Catholic family. It was kind of against the religion, this intuitive side, so it was kind of on the down low for a long time, but I felt it like coming to a head where I had this huge opportunity to explore it deeper. So I went down my intuitive journey. It was kind of going on behind the scenes. Whenever I would bring it up to friends, they would kind of look at me kind of weird, for people in my circle. So I just kind of like was dealing with it behind the scenes, exploring it, starting to take different courses about intuition with some of my now mentors, and went down this journey. So as these years progressed, I was still working on my business on a more practical side. And I remember one time I was sitting at my desk and doing a session with a client virtually. And I had some like card decks to the side. And she was going through something personally, and I was helping her heal through it. And my eyes would constantly go back to these cards. So I had never done a card reading for someone before. And I just felt this call to ask my client, hey, Caitlin, like, how would you feel about me pulling some cards for you? So I did it, and she fell in love with it. She's like, every session, can we do this? And that's kind of how it started. It was like all these intuitive tools that I was mastering for myself. I started to sprinkling it into my business. And then I continued to develop it and, add Reiki into it once I became a Reiki master. And as I became a meditation teacher, I incorporated that into my business. And I remember changing my bio to intuitive life and business coach online, an energy healer, and was shaking on my bones a little bit, being a little bit scared to come out of the spiritual closet, if you will, because it was something I would talk with a very close group of friends that were on the same path, but to like the general public, it wasn't really a part of me. And what I acknowledged from that was I felt this power of stepping into this side of myself, and everybody received it so well that my business took off. 6 months, I was able to become a full-time entrepreneur once I kind of embraced this more spiritual side of myself. So, if you are someone that would consider yourself spiritual or intuitive, and maybe you have these tools in your toolbox as an impactpreneur that you use for yourself that helps you a lot in your life, in your business, it is a powerful thing to really incorporate that into your business, even if it's just little sprinkles of it, and really embrace your intuitive side, really allowing this personal experience and transformation that you're going through with your business, with your personal life, sorry, and incorporating that into the business, in the storytelling, and seeing if your clients are open to play with some of the tools that you've been with. It can really allow your business to transform in so many different ways. So go through your personal journey, explore that spiritual side, lean into those curiosities. If there are those instances that shake you up, really allow yourself to explore it further personally and sprinkle it into your business and allow it to be a part of your journey. So the first tool is really about embracing that curiosity personally, developing that intuitive side within yourself, and then incorporating it in your business, whatever tools work for you, introducing them to your clients. And another way that I use my intuition in business is for my own personal state. Before I'm doing live videos, or I'm teaching a class, or I'm having a one-on-one session, using my intuitive tools to prepare me for the call, like doing a little intuitive card reading, right? Using oracle cards, or doing a meditation to amplify my energy. I just feel like that is a beautiful way to be in complete alignment and step into this beautiful, almost channeled state, to be a vessel to channel through the messages that clients are meant to hear. It is so huge, using things like just inviting light in through your vessel, or, connecting to your higher self, or your fulfilled femme, as I call her, to really be a beautiful channel of delivering the messages that your soul is here to deliver. And lastly, making intuitive decisions for your business. Every day, I do a personal meditation and a tune in for what path I'm meant to take for my business. What are the tasks that I'm meant to focus on mostly? What are the messages that I'm meant to deliver with my content? So it could be something as simple as just like opening up my crown and really having a pen and paper there and welcoming in to the higher self, to the angels, and saying, like, what messages am I meant to bring forth here today? I'm here to be a vessel for light and love. Or what steps should I take in my business to be able to serve people most today? So here, those are a few little quick tips and tricks for you to be able to incorporate your intuition in your business. And I have one last story to share before I pop off for today for this podcast. So, when it comes to channeling the path and the decisions that you're meant to make, there was one time that I really did this that stood out most, that was a humongous game changer for my business. So, I was taking a course with a mentor of mine, and we were kind of talking about how to channel through messages as a part of the class. So, she's like, think about something that is something that you want clarity on. And for me, at that point, this is back in 2019, in about like April or May or so, I was like, okay, I want to know when I'm going to be a full-time entrepreneur, because I absolutely love serving my clients and I want to be able to do this full time. So I kind of surrendered, was in the meditation, and asked my higher self, what is the date that I should be leaving my full-time job? Keep in mind, this was a full-time job that I was like really good at. I was doing well. I was making good money doing. And there was yet this part of me that was like, there's something more that you could be doing, and it's coaching. So I surrendered and I heard November 15th. So I was doing sales and marketing for Nespresso, the coffee company. And the holidays are the most busy time. And I had this like general idea that I would be done at the end of 2019. And so when I heard mid-November, right before the busy season starts, I was so shocked. I was like, Tara, I don't know how this is going to happen. This is right before the busy season. This is crazy. And I had immediate resistance to it, immediate resistance. It's like, just trust your intuition, trust your guide, and go about your business and just see how it unfolds. So the months passed. November came along, and I was at my job at the time, and I saw a manager of mine come in, and this guy had done everything to support me with my journey with this job. He was like so amazing, such a great leader, helped us exponentially with everything that we did. And he was there first thing in the morning, which was strange because he never came first thing in the morning. And I said to him, like, what are you doing here? He's like, yeah, I have some news. I'm moving on from the company. And it was so strange. I had this feeling come over me that's kind of hard to explain, but this feeling of almost urgency, this feeling of almost like a push to leave the job. This, I can't even explain it. Let me like find the words. It was really like just this gut feeling that washed over me, this push, this, okay, it's time to go. It's complete. This completion energy, I guess, is the best way to explain it. So I messaged my best friend, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's leaving. I feel like I have to quit tonight. I don't know what it is. I got to give my 2 weeks notice. So I don't know. I don't even know where this gumption came from. I don't know where this power came from. Back then I didn't know. Now I know. It's like there was this just embodiment moment of my higher self and my guides that were helping and supporting in that point. But I went home and I wrote my resignation letter, and I was talking to my best friend on the phone, and I hit send. And as I hit send, I look on my computer and I realize, OMG, it's November 15th. And I was in shock. I was in celebration. I was in disbelief. I was all over the place emotionally. I couldn't believe it. So it's just one of those reminders with this story that your intuition is always guiding you. And sometimes you may have these enormous decisions to make in your business in which can feel scary and daunting, and you might have the doubt, but it's always important to allow and invite your intuition to guide you on your path and trust it and let it unfold the way that it's meant to, so that you can serve the most people and make the biggest impact in the world. So, in summary, if you're asking me what are some business tools that I can use my intuition in my business, it's really about allowing your intuition to transform you personally, sprinkling it into your business, and then standing into it and owning it. Allowing your intuition to prep you for these experiences in your business so you show up from the highest form of yourself and step into those channeled states to allow yourself to be a vessel to share the information for the people that you're meant to serve. And lastly, use it in the decision-making process. Really allow your mind to step aside and allow the information that's for your highest and best good to channel through so you know what to do, know how to show up, and know where to keep your focus for your energy. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I'll upload a new video on Thursday. See you in the next one. Bye.